Okay, let's kick it off. So, welcome to today's webinar. The topic today is the benefits of registering a default. So, my name is Patrick Coughlin, I'm your presenter, and I'm the Commercial Director at CreditorWatch. I've been there since day one of two founding employees who Colin Porter, the MD and founder, hired from day one to kick CreditorWatch off. We're officially 6 years, I believe it is. 6 years in January. So it's been a long, fun time. We've got now over 40,000 customers, and we're growing every single day. So a little bit about what I'm going to cover today. I'll talk a little bit more about CreditorWatch. Most of you are customers of ours. However, there are plenty of you who aren't customers. I'll give you some insights in terms of what we're seeing in the market, the benefits of obviously registering a default, and then a bit of a demonstration as to how to do it, and a few sort of rules around defaults and the requirements within your CreditorWatch accounts. Q&A session. So we don't have an official one at the end. We've got people standing by at the moment who can answer any questions that you might have. So please feel free to type in any questions in the question box within the GoToWebinar module that would have popped up there for you when you first got started. So a little bit about CreditorWatch. As I said, we've got over 40,000 customers, making us the leading commercial credit reporting bureau in Australia. We're fully online and provide a wide variety and range of products. Our core products are obviously our credit reports that we provide, allowing you to run, credit searches, credit checks on new and current customers to see what sort of credit risk they represent, whether you should be doing business with them. Monitoring and alerts, that's our most powerful tool. So you can monitor all of your customers for important changes that might occur. So if they go into administration or have a court judgment or a payment default registered against them, we'll actually send you an email alert letting you know, so you can be proactive and either close that account down or get in touch with the customer to find out what's going on. We also provide online credit applications for our customers as well. And what that does is allows your new clients to apply for a credit account with you online rather than using, an old-fashioned paper-based application form. We'll also provide automated decisioning and data washing. So CreditorWatch is really affordable to businesses of all sizes, from sole traders through to ASX listed companies. And that's really what makes CreditorWatch so unique, both our data, but also the various features that we provide. There are certain features that, sole traders like to access that all of a sudden public companies are enjoying as well, and vice versa. And from a small business point of view, we really are a virtual AR manager or virtual credit manager to really support you 24/7. We'll keep an eye on your customers for you. And you can automate it even further by integrating with Xero or MYOB if you have a Xero or MYOB account. So some CreditorWatch insights. What we're seeing at the moment, there's been a 63% increase in the number of CreditorWatch defaults that were registered in Q3 2016 versus Q3 2015. So what that's telling us is people are registering defaults faster and they're registering them more often. What that will likely see is an increase in the number of companies slowing their payments or potentially even failing. The average value of a CreditorWatch default has risen 76% in the past 12 months. And the big stat for me is any entity, any debtor that has a default registered against it has a 46% chance of failing within 12 months of that default being registered against them. So if you're monitoring your customers and they have a default registered against them, you'll receive an email alert. You should really consider whether you want to continue doing business with them or whether you should be mitigating your risk and either reducing their credit limit or moving them onto a COD account, cash up front. For those of you in WA, Q3 2016 saw a 175% increase in the number of court actions versus Q3 2015. That is a huge increase. Whether that's got to do with mining or the mining services industry, it's not totally clear. However, it's definitely something to be aware of if you're doing business over there or doing business with any WA exposed companies. We know that a director with a previously failed company is 2.5 times more likely to fail again. So when you're using a CreditorWatch credit report, please take special notice of the adverse or cross directorships that are available within our credit report. So if you're looking at a company, we'll often try to flag any other companies they're involved in and whether those companies are, in financial strife or have failed previously in the past. And as always, the ATO is on the rampage, more so than ever before, winding up companies over their tax debt. So we actually consult our customers to be asking their customers or their debtors for activity statements when they were last lodged and any sort of outstanding tax debts that may exist. So a few benefits of registering a default against an overdue debtor. So for those debtors that, are 60, 90, 100, 120 days overdue, registering a default or even threatening to register a default is a really powerful collection tool. We have final notice templates that you can access in the debt collection tools section. I'll just show you that quickly. So in this debt collection tools section, there's a number of tools in here that you can access. One of those is the final notice example. By using that final notice example, it actually warns the debtor that you intend to register a default against them if they don't pay their bill. So it's a really powerful collection tool. If they then don't actually register, if they then don't actually pay that outstanding amount, we suggest registering a default, because what that does is it puts a default on their credit file. So anyone that is monitoring that particular debtor, that particular entity, will receive an email alert letting them know that a payment default has been registered against them. It'll show when it happened, how much was due, and who registered the default. So more likely than not, all of those other suppliers to that debtor will either put them on stop, put them on COD, or stop doing business with them. And that's actually going to entice that debtor to come back to you and pay their bill. Similarly, you can register a default that's up to 5 years old. So if you have older ones as well that you've already written off, there's absolutely no harm in registering a default against one of those older debts. You just never know that maybe that email alert goes out to someone, and that new supplier then says to the debtor, hey, until you clear this default off your CreditorWatch file, until you settle that, until you pay that outstanding amount, we're not going to do business with you. And you just might find you get some of that revenue that you'd previously written off. The other benefit, obviously, aside from the email alerts being sent out when a default is registered, is whenever someone runs a credit report, a credit check on that particular debtor that you've registered a default against, that default is going to be front and center for them to see. And it's a really powerful bit of adverse data to suggest, hey, you shouldn't be doing business with them. They'll most likely knock that debtor back for a credit account or force them onto COD or not do business with them at all. When that debtor asks why, they'll say, well, you've got a default registered against you on CreditorWatch. We're not going to do business with you until you've either settled that. So again, it's a really powerful way to get paid. CreditorWatch, as most of you would know, is a really easy to use platform. So in terms of registering a default, it's very straightforward. It's very simple. We want to make it as easy as possible for you. So I'll give you a live demonstration of that in just a minute. For those of you with larger portfolios, larger number of customers, or potentially large number of defaults, we actually have the option for you to bulk upload those defaults as well. So rather than doing a default one at a time, if you've got, say 10 or, dozens that you want to register at once, let us know and we can help you in registering all those in one big bulk upload. Make it nice and simple for you. So I'm going to run a quick poll here just to get a better understanding of how many people have actually registered a default in the past. So really simple, yes or no. Have you ever registered a payment default? If you don't know what that is, then obviously it's a no. We'll just keep it nice and simple. So most of you are voting here. I'll give it another couple of seconds. No real surprises as the results come through. So what we're seeing is 67% have never registered a default and 33% of you have. Now, that's not surprising really. When I talk to customers, more often than not, they say they've never registered one. When I ask them why not, they either say, I was unaware that you could do it, or they think that it's a difficult sort of thing to do. It's actually really straightforward, and I'm going to show you exactly how that looks. So let's jump on to the next one. So a few rules around the defaults. So we've got different types of CreditorWatch customers, different types of subscribers, but for all CreditorWatch users, when you're registering a default, the debt must be greater than $150 and it must be more than 60 days overdue. That's standard industry practice. So for those online plan subscribers, so that's people on a credit card, on a starter plan, starter plus, medium plan, those smaller plans, you'll also have to verify your account for defaults to be visible. So when you signed up, we would have sent out a verification letter that had a verification code on it. You would have received that in the mail. If you didn't, you can actually request another one and we'll send it out. So you would log into your dashboard and you'll see a button on the dashboard that says verify my account. By clicking on that, you can then enter your verification code. If you haven't received your verification code or letter, just click resend verification code or get in contact with us and we can send that out for you. So it's a really straightforward process to do. That's just to verify that you are who you say you are, and it reduces or eliminates the ability for people to register malicious defaults. So we want to keep that information as clean as possible. Jumping back to the dashboard and the PowerPoint. The other thing that those online subscribers will have to do is you'll have to upload a proof of debt document. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So a proof of debt document can be anything from an invoice, a statement, a letter of demand, a legal letter, any sort of document that acts as a proof of debt and shows that there was some sort of relationship or requirement for the debtor to pay you. Generally, you'll have your contact details, your logo on it, and also the business name or ABN of the debtor that you're dealing with, the customer you're dealing with. So live demonstration. Let's jump in now and have a look at exactly how to register a default against a non-paying customer. We're going to look at how to verify your account. Well, actually, we've already done that. How to register a default and also upload a proof of debt document. So very straightforward. There's two ways we can do this. You can perform a credit check as normal by searching for the business, or you can go straight to register a default. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to register a default. I'm going to put in the business name that I know, and it's going to provide me with some search results. So then I'm going to click register a default. Pretty straightforward. So there's a few instructions here as I've just gone over. So must be over $150 and more than 60 days overdue, and also that you'll need to upload a proof of debt document. For those corporate customers that we have on invoices and the larger companies that we're dealing with, you won't actually need to upload a proof of debt document. All you'll need to do is fill out the information. So I'll go back a few months. That's when the payment due date was. The amount was $99.99. Was the payment disputed? So in this case, no. This customer has just disappeared on me. Can't get a hold of them and they haven't paid their bill. Part payment received. In this case, no, they haven't paid anything at all. If you're dealing with a customer who has part paid you, you can indicate yes. Very straightforward. So click to choose your file. So this is where we upload our proof of debt. So it has to be a PDF, JPEG file in order to upload it. So in this case, I've chosen my final notice as my proof of debt, clicked open, and I'll register a default. As I said, very, very straightforward. It'll then open up the company and I can see defaults are here. Patrick's Meats. Pretty straightforward there. So you can see one I'd already registered, and it tells me that it's awaiting account verification. So once I verify my account, it's going to send out an email alert to anyone monitoring this particular company. And then anyone coming to this particular company's credit file in the future, it's going to, they're going to be able to see that there's a default against it, along with a number of other defaults as well. So this is actually got plenty there to see. So you can see the status will either be current, which means it's outstanding, has been part paid, or it will say settled. So I can actually come back into this later on and indicate, all good, this company ended up paying me. So it changes the status to settled. So really straightforward there. On the registration of multiple defaults, if you come into the debt collection tools page, you can actually see a CSV download that it will allow you to pre-populate the information, and then all you have to do is send it into CreditorWatch and we'll get it uploaded for you. So really straightforward there. So let's run another quick poll. And this one we're going to ask, do you have any customers you would now want to register a default against, knowing what you know? As I've said, it's really easy to do, and it's a powerful collection tool for you as well. Okay. So what's really good about this is basically a flip of the previous result. So we're seeing that 65% of you, yes, would like to register a default, 35% of you no, and that could be for a number of reasons. Hopefully because you don't have any customers that you need to default and you've got your accounts in perfect order. So if any of you do have any questions around registering a default, please get in contact with us. As I said, it's pretty straightforward for you to do, but you can always contact us and we can run through exactly how to register that default. We can register it for you, or if necessary, we can bulk upload those defaults as well. So a pretty quick and easy webinar today around registering a default. For more information, please either contact your account manager that you're dealing with or contact head office on 0281882025, and we can work through any questions that you might have around registering defaults or any other questions with CreditorWatch. If you're not a customer, we have a free trial offer on at the moment, so you can either contact us, sales_admins@creditorwatch.com.au. If you're a smaller business and you've got, say, less than 100 customers, you can jump onto creditorwatch.com.au and you'll see that there's a free trial available on there for you to sign up. Might just jump in and see if there are any questions that have come through and whether I can answer any. I know a few of them are being answered at the moment, but I'll jump in and I'll read a few out anyway. Can that letter be sent by email, or does it need to be posted to the debtor? So there's a question for you. So that letter doesn't have to be posted. It can be sent via email if necessary. Definitely a much quicker option, and you can also ultimately put a red receipt on it if you wanted to see if they opened it, but that's probably a surefire way of getting it. Sending it by post or registered post is something that's also an option as well, but there's no requirements either way. Someone's also commented, it's sad that 65% of us have bad debtors. It really is. There are a lot of bad debtors out there, but hopefully by improving your credit management processes, we start to reduce the number that are out there, and also potentially the outstanding amounts that they're racking up with companies around Australia. As I said, there's a suite of debt collection tools that you can use as a CreditorWatch member, from simple ones including putting your membership logo, which is downloadable on that page, putting the membership logo on your invoices and statements, even on your your email signature or your website. It's a nice tool that debtors will see or customers will see and go, oh, they're a member of CreditorWatch. That gives them the ability to register defaults. They take their credit seriously. I'll pay their bill first. I'll pay their bill on time. Another question we've got coming up here, how long does the default last for? So the default will stay on the credit file for up to 5 years. After that 5-year period, it comes down. Again, that's standard industry practice, but that will stay on there. If they pay the default, you can update it, as I said, to settled, and that's always a good way of saying to the debtor, hey, if you do pay it, I will indicate that it has been settled, and that reduces obviously the severity of it. Just having another couple of looks here to see if there are any others. Do you have to advise the debtor that you will be lodging the default? You don't have to advise them, but I would strongly recommend that you do, because by advising the debtor that you're registering a default, more likely than not, they will actually pay their bill before you actually need to register the default, or at the very least, they'll get in contact with you in order to set up some sort of payment plan or payment structure going forward. That's probably about all the time we have now. I know there's a couple of other questions coming through, but we will make sure that we get to all of them. If you do have any other questions once this closes, please feel free to get in contact with us. You can email us, admin@creditorwatch.com.au, or you can contact us as well on the phone. Thanks again for your time today. And as I said, if we haven't got to your question just yet, we will get to it within the next sort of 24 hours. Thanks again.